We begin at Facebook, which on Monday unveiled a new logo for the company to distinguish it from its applications. Facebook, which started as a single app 15 years ago, has over the years acquired other applications and diversified its service offering in its quest to connect friends, families, businesses, and communities. Now, the new brand design seeks to distinguish the Facebook company from the Facebook application and its other applications, including Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram. In June this year, it began including from Facebook within its applications. Now, for many users, the logos may not be a big issue. They'll be really concerned about user experience and issues like privacy and data protection. But moving on, the high-tech sneakers used in last month's biggest sporting achievements have sparked heated debate over whether the hyper-advanced footwear gave an unfair advantage to the athletes. Kenyan athletes Eliud Kipchoge, who ran the first-ever sub-2-hour marathon in Vienna, and Brigid Koski, who shattered the women's marathon record in Chicago, both wore Nike Vaporfly shoes. Now, to get the gist of this debate, let's hear what their fellow athletes think about these particular shoes.
Also, it's super frustrating that someone has an amazing race and we go, what are they wearing? You know, it's not just the athlete anymore. It's not just the conditions. It's what shoes are they in. So it adds an element that we have to consider afterwards. So it's just a lot of questions right now. I do think there should be some regulation just so it doesn't get too far out of control, but I also understand that, you know, obviously technology happens and it's going to change our sport. So
to me, I run in cross country, I run in track, and I run in marathon. So any kind of a shoe that my sponsor Nike gave me, I'll use it. And the good thing about Nike Vaporfly is not only for the elite athletes, but also for the amateur runners. It's a good shoe. With less impact from the ground, you can recover very fast after a long distance or a short distance. Yes.
While it's easy to look at shoes and say, hey, these are the amazing things that shoes are doing, I'm looking more at what the athletes are doing. I think Kipchoge and Koski are some of the best, probably the best marathoners ever. And so we put them in good shoes and they run well, but they're going to run well in whatever they're running in.
Now, the carbon-insoled Vaporfly shoes, which Nike promises will improve the running economy by up to 4%, are described as having a lighter design and faster feel, with more cushioning underfoot and reduced weight up top. Now, while the shoes have been approved by the International Association of Athletics Federations, concerns remain. Athletics is not the only sport to consider reining in the use of advanced technology in competition. In 2010, high-tech suits were banned from swimming amid a glut of broken records. And lastly for today, an Israeli-developed app is offering turn-by-turn voice directions to help cemetery visitors navigate large graveyards in search of their loved ones' resting places. Their vision? Our vision is that eventually we will map so many graves with our abilities, with the speed of our mapping, so that actually every grave will have an address, like a person has an address. Every grave will have an address, and people whose parents are buried in a certain place will be able to reach the grave, send flowers, just like an address. But how exactly does this application work? We actually used very advanced technological tools that we have developed using drones and image processing. We have a designated app with which our workers go out to the field and map the graves, photographing them. In the office, we map all the geographical elements, the path, the plots, interest points, everything that depicts the outline of the cemetery, and from which the location of the graves is derived and the ability to navigate in the cemetery following our schemes. After that, the burial company receives access to the system, and both of us and them can provide online updates about path, graves, everything, whether a path has been blocked or all of a sudden not accessible by vehicles, for example. It's being updated and immediately reflected in our systems for the end users out there. Now, the app could come in handy in several African countries like the Republic of Congo, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, where people bury their loved ones in public cemeteries. And that is all the tech that I had for you today.